Check, mic check, 1, 2.
Yo, is this thing on or what?
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Platform Podcast. As always, I am your host, Dex. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, give us a follow. Leave us those 5-star reviews. Leave us any comments you have for the guest, and let me know who you guys want to see on upcoming shows. Before we get started here, we always got to give a big shout out to our brand partner, Making Now Media. So DJs, if you're looking for new flyers for your events, EPKs, logos, visuals, any kind of stuff like that in the graphic design world, hit up Making Now Media. Use the code PLATFORM. They'll send you a discount, get you all taken care of. Now today on the show, we got an awesome guest from Dallas, Texas. He's had mixes featured on shows like Fade University on Sirius XM, Diplo's Revolution, and huge club edits out on SoundCloud, like his version of NLE Choppa's Slept Me Out. One of his most recent ones was Artemis, I Like the Way You Kiss Me, that's been blowing up. He's all over playing shows in Dallas, Austin, and then most recently this weekend here in Nashville playing Barstool. We got Carlyle joining us. What's going on, man?
What's going
Welcome
on,
to
man?
Nashville.
Hey, I'm happy to be here, man.
Yeah. Played last night, man. How was it?
It was really good, man. It's first time in Nashville and first time at Barstool. I didn't really know what to expect, you know. I was a little nervous at first, you know, trying to prepare my set, asking a lot of the other DJs that have gone through there, you know, the vibe. I was very excited to play like country music because, you know, it's like that's what you got to do out here, I guess, you know, and you can't do that much in Dallas. So I was preparing, making a bunch of country edits and everything. I've been listening to a lot of country lately too, so it was really fun to get to do that for sure.
Is that out of the norm from you? Are you usually not a country music guy?
I mean, you couldn't tell me like you could tell me like country music artists. I would like have no idea. Like,
okay.
You know, I know the George Straits and the, you know, I don't know, Coey like Wexel
and the Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, the Morgan
Texas
Wallens
guy. You know, Coey Wexel.
Yeah. You know, that's about it. But you know, I appreciate it. I love it. I love the music.
I mean, a lot of that stuff is big right now with country popping with the EDM type shit.
EDM, that's a new vocabulary word for me right now.
Yeah, it's big right now, especially out here. But yeah, you came on a crazy weekend, CMA's weekend. So every single country artist in the fucking world is out here this weekend. All the record labels doing different shows and brand activations and shit like that. So yeah, you got to kind of cap it off on Sunday, play that last set before everybody goes home hungover today. So it's a good time. And then like those Sundays at Barstool are typically pretty service industry heavy as far as the crowd goes. So.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of the local DJs were there. They came up to me, took a shot with me.
Yep.
Very nice guys.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna get into a lot of things with you. Just starting with your production side of things outside of DJing, getting into making a lot of these edits and remixes specifically for your sets, and then just kind of what goes into your thought process with that of wanting to put them out onto platforms like a SoundCloud or other things like that, or getting official remixes done or putting them out on record pools, and just kind of your thought process that goes into all that and which direction you want to go with that. Okay. We'll talk about you playing in all these different cities and booking yourself out at other venues and how those two kind of coincide with each other and benefit each other. Okay. A lot of the music right now, and then a couple other things. So to get started, man, just tell these listeners, tell these viewers a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got into the music industry.
All right, guys. I'm wearing these glasses because I'm a little hungover, and it's also very fucking bright in here. So my name's Colton. I go by Carlyle, DJ Carlyle. Out of Dallas, Texas. I mean, I've been in the nightlife industry since I was 17, 18, 2007. And I just remember like my first nightclub. I'm like looking, I'm like, oh my God, I am meant to be here. I started as a promoter. I started as a promoter, like right when Facebook groups just started. I remember I was like getting hate on my Facebook feed for like posting like EDM music. So I created this group called Electro Innovators, and I invited like my 10 friends that I knew that just loved the music as well. And I was like, hey, like feel free to like post your music in here so we can. It was kind of like the early days of like a record pool for not for DJs, just for like listeners, because like SoundCloud wasn't even a thing back then, you know. And so we were just posting like YouTube videos of songs. Like this was back when like not Chucky. Yeah, DJ Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember him? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like back in those days. Then I was like, feel free to like invite your friends. Literally overnight, I had like hundreds and hundreds of people on this Facebook group, and they were all in like Dallas, Texas, in like outer. So I didn't realize it at the time. Like I had a network of people that liked the music, and so I had some promoters reach out to me like, "Hey, like you want to throw shows with us?" I'm like, "Yes, for sure, let's do it." So this is like 2010, 2011 or something like that. And like I started throwing parties with them, and we started bringing out a bunch of artists, and it was the promotion company was called Electro Innovators, and I started throwing shows that way. But then nobody really knew who I was, and they all knew the DJ. I was like, I want to be the DJ. So this was like one of the I bought a Newmark mix track, one of the first controllers ever out, I feel like. And I would sit there. I was in a fraternity at the time, just in my dorm room, just messing around. And I'd be like, it took like 3 or 4 months to get comfortable. And like I remember, like I'd practice every night. And like when there was like parties in the frat house, I would just stay in my room and just DJ. And like I would just like look up and there'd be like people. I'm like, oh wow, like people like vibing to my music, cool. Like there's like a party in my room while I'm DJing. I was like, I think I got something here. So then like I got comfortable enough to like move downstairs into like the I don't know,
where the party is.
Yeah, where the living room. And so then I started DJing down there and everything. And then from there it just moved to me getting booked at like a local bar in I went to school in University of North Texas in Denton. And so I was like getting booked at a local bar, and I remember it was like a Saturday night, and I was so nervous. Oh my God. And I played the whole night, and at the end of the night, the owner comes up to me. He's like, "You want to do this every Saturday night?" And I was like, "Yeah." He gives me a check for $50, and I'm like, "Oh my God, hell yeah!" Every weekend, I am rolling in the money. So I was doing that, and then still throwing parties and everything, like down in Dallas. So I would like do the parties down in Dallas and DJ up in Denton. I was like, I didn't feel comfortable enough to like DJ my own parties yet. And so I think I finally got comfortable enough around like 2013 or something. And then started going down, I moved down to Dallas, and then I started playing down there. And the way I started DJing down there was, I don't know, like I guess some club owner came to a party I was at, and a girl introduced me, and he's like, "You've been in my club before?" And I was like, "Actually, yeah, I was there last week." And he goes, "What do you think of my DJ?" I was like, "Honestly, he sucks." And he was like, "You know what? You're right." He goes, "You think you can do better?" I was like, "I know I can do better." And some cocky ass attitude that I had. And so he goes, "All right, I'm gonna start this Sunday, like this Sunday party." And like Sundays in Dallas was like not a thing back then.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Really, on a Sunday?" Like he goes, "Trust me." I was like, "Okay, cool." So started DJing on Sunday. That was like my first residency down in Dallas, and we just build the club up together. And that's when I learned like to play hip hop, pretty much. And it was like mostly like a hip hop industry night club, and from there that just like opened the doors to like all these other venues and everything. But I was still struggling because like I was playing hip hop, but I also wanted to be like a festival DJ. I was like just like starting to produce. Like this is like, it's 2013 and 2014, 15. And so I'm like, I want to produce, but I'm like playing hip hop. Like, I don't know. I wasn't focused on one thing. I was just kind of all over the place. And looking back, like doing stuff like that helped me be able to like play anything and everything now. So then I started like, I started getting lessons to produce and whatnot. And then I started putting out music, and then my first remix, what was it? Oh, it was when The Weeknd came out with one of his albums. It was like The Hills was one of my first remixes. And I had a connection to like one of those sound blogs. God, I wish I remember the names of these. But I mean, it's no longer around. But the writer, like I was like, "Hey, can you like do a write up for me?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." So he wrote a thing, like posted my song and whatnot. And then I shit you not, like next week, I get a video sent to me, and it's Diplo playing my fucking song in Vegas. And I'm like, there's no way. This is not true. But like, that's how easy it was back in the day to like get your song, like get your music heard. You know, you just throw on a record, like, or on a blog post. You know, now you got to do a fucking TikTok. You know, and you got to do 10 of them. You know,
hope
just
that it goes viral.
hope that it goes viral. You know, so that's when I was like, oh shit, like I'm on to something. So then I started putting out like a new song a month, and then I started playing like festivals. I was playing all the festivals. I did like Hard Fest, Middlelands. Back then, I did like a little run with like Borgore for a little bit. And I was opening up for a lot of artists, and I ended up moving to LA for like to try and make it, you know? And I realized that it's a lot harder than you can imagine being out there in LA. You know, like I would like go out to you know, the Tuesday parties at Sound, and be like, yo, what's going on? My name's Colton. I'm a DJ. And they're like, yeah, I'm a DJ too. He's a DJ. He's a DJ. I'm like, oh shit.
Get in fucking line, man.
Yeah, get in line, man. I'm like, oh shit.
Were you specifically trying to go out there to make it more as a DJ or as a producer?
Producer.
Okay.
Yeah. This was like when I was like, I want to play all the festivals. I want to do, you know, I want to be the next, you know, big thing. You know, like people are playing my songs. Like I got Diplo and Chami playing my shit. Like, you know, like I can do this. And so it was a lot harder than I thought. And I had personal things going on in my life, and I ended up coming back to Dallas, and I stopped. I stopped doing the production. I stopped doing all that stuff. And I had to focus on myself and my family. And then I had some people, like, there's some clubs starting to open up in Dallas, like some nightclubs again, because we didn't have like the actual like nightclubs with like the lights. It was
more just bars.
It was more like, yeah, bars, sports bar, like Bottle Blonde, like just came out. So like everybody was like trying to like copy that concept. And like, it was like it was a different vibe, you know? And then there was a new nightclub that opened called Theory, and I was like trying to figure out how to like get into Theory, and because they were playing all EDM, I was like, perfect. And so I ended up like connecting with one of the owners, and like he gave me a shot, and I was like, oh my god, thank God. And so I guess like I got back in the nightclubs again, and so then I started, you know, DJing the nightclubs and going from like EDM to hip hop and back and forth and stuff. And that, to be honest with you, like that's what I love. I love playing bottle service venues because I can play everything, you know. And looking back, like, you know, like playing the festivals, I only have to play, you know, that genre and everything. But like, I'm happy that I can be so versed in playing whatever I feel at the moment, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really helped me out with crowd control, reading the crowd. And like, that's one of the things that like I tell, you know, people when they book me, I'm like, they're like, well, what do you play? I was like, whatever the crowd wants. I was like, I'll look at a crowd and I will get them jumping. I promise you that.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that a little bit before, just when obviously we just went out and grabbed some food. I had to show you around to some of the Nashville spots. So we
Hattie B's.
Hit up some Hattie B's, had some hot chicken. But yeah, I mean, that's a thing that I feel like a lot of people, especially like younger DJs, don't know how to do. And then even people that have blown up and maybe got into DJing because they're social media famous or because they got something off of like
their
TikTok or something like that, where they don't necessarily know how to read a room versus you.
Which I understand. I don't blame them, man.
Yeah,
you know, it's a whole other animal once you get up on that stage.
And if you haven't taken the time to learn, or you don't have the musical knowledge to be able to dive deep into some of these crates and read a room, that's where you're going to see the difference in levels of DJing.
Yeah.
And for you, I feel like that's got to help so much of how you came up, where you obviously love the EDM and the house music scene and all that kind of stuff, but then kind of being forced into playing a different genre or a different venue that, hey, we want to go this way.
Yeah.
And you have to go and play it.
Yeah, of course.
Then obviously in your spare time, you're gonna learn more about that
Figure it
music.
out,
You're gonna try and prep those sets.
Exactly. I was not that big in, like, I mean, I obviously love hip hop, but like there's like a deeper side of hip hop and trap music. And like, you know, and I would have to learn. I would have to learn the songs of the night, you know, like playing some of these clubs, like it's just like, wow, I've never heard of this song before, but then I'll turn it on and the whole club's singing it. You know, it's like Crack Baby, you know, like shit like fucking
Some Young Dolph.
Some Young Dolph. I had no idea.
That always
Young
goes
Dolph.
off here. I mean, he's a Tennessee guy. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, you know, it's like music like that. Like I started becoming very well versed in music, and that's also one thing. Like growing up, a little like my background, I grew up in boarding schools, and
Okay.
so I was surrounded by kids from all over the world, and the only thing that we would have in common a lot and like talk about is music, you know, and I would learn about music from all these different areas and stuff. So that's what I credit to like definitely DJing now.
Yeah.
Is because I can find that common ground with everybody when it comes to music.
Yeah. Or even if you're not finding a common ground, you're going to learn something new from them. Too.
Exactly.
So either way you look at it,
Yeah.
it ends up being a good thing for you musically.
Yeah. I mean, for example, I learned about like the hyphy movement, you know, in San Fran. Like, I fell in love with Mac Dre, you know. Good time.
Just hanging out with some kid from the Bay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I want to back you up a little bit just because obviously you're talking about how you got started with this Facebook group and basically without even really knowing it, you built an entire network and following through this Facebook group, and then kind of starting doing your own events. So like what were you doing with these events? I mean, were you doing all the booking and like setting everything up?
I was promoting.
Okay.
I wasn't doing the booking side of things. I was more of just promoting. I had like a whole street team under me, and that was the beginning. And then like other promotion like Disco Donnie's his company out here in Dallas, Full Access. They picked me up, and so I was doing all the show. It got to a point where any EDM artist that came through Dallas or surrounding areas, Electro Event Innovators was on it.
Yeah.
And I was pushing out hard tickets, and that was when hard tickets was like a full thing. And I would get like 200-300 copies, and we'd be selling them out. Like every promoter wanted to work with us.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was cool for me because I'd make $2 or $3 off each ticket, and then I'd be able to like get anybody I wanted into the show, like as long as like I looked cool, I guess. So yeah, it definitely opened the doors for me for a lot of places. For this one club called Lizard Lounge, and I got to I was like working the door. I was doing a lot of different stuff. I started doing hospitality, and I started like picking up the artists and everything. And so I got to like meet a lot of the guys and hang out with them. And that was like one of the things that like really got me into like meeting people. And I would be like, hey, like check out my music while you're at it,
Yeah, and you're just able to network while you're still
exactly.
doing your
That
job
was like that was like 10 years ago now. And it kind of I became friends with the owners of Lizard Lounge, and we've been they're always talking about like, Colton, like let's open up another venue. Like Colton, we want you to, be in with us. And so actually that's why we opened up It'll Do. Mm-hmm. We were trying to find a nice, perfect sized room of like 500 people, and play like more like underground house, techno stuff, booking the artist. And so we It'll Do kind of fell in our laps. The previous owner wasn't really paying attention to it anymore, and we ended up buying it from them. And that was 2019, and literally like 4 months later, COVID hit, and we're like, oh my god, yeah. So we had to change. We had to pivot a little bit, but us and then Floyd Miami were the only people booking. So yeah, like we opened up It'll Do, and us and Floyd were like the only people like booking artists. And so we had this idea
because like nobody else wanted to spend money still after COVID.
Everybody was afraid.
Yeah,
like Dallas, Texas was like closed for like maybe 3 months.
Yeah,
and then we just opened back up. Everybody changed their license to a restaurant, because like you can open up as a restaurant.
Yeah.
And but we made everybody wear masks, and we were like on it. We had plexiglass like between us and the DJ, so like it was the DJs like we convinced the DJs to come because like, hey, we have a plexiglass, like you're not going to be with the crowd, everybody's wearing a mask. And we had this bright idea. It was like, well, if we're going to book an artist, like a bigger artist, like we got like good pay, we got to pay them we got good deals because they weren't being booked anywhere else. Mm-hmm. And we were like, how about this, let's book you 2 nights in a row. And they're like and it just hit. We had John Summit 2 nights in a row at this small ass venue, Dom Dalla, like a lot of these guys, and just sold out. like each night,
Yeah.
immediately. And then that kind of like what really helped us out was doing like the COVID shows, and then now we're killing it over there.
Yeah. So yeah, you're in partnership with that, and then what else you invested in right now too?
A bunch of random things. It's kind of all over the place. I guess I have like a hospitality portfolio now. It's just it's my friends that I believe in. I'm like, here, like let's go in on something together. For example, I have a place that sells pizza called Cutie Pies. I have good friends, Alon, Adam over there, Stephen Bucky. They're close friends. They actually own Theory as well. So like,
okay.
And the pizza place is next door to Theory. So like, they got me into DJing at Theory, and then, we opened up the pizza place together.
But then you also already know them and have a relationship with them
Exactly.
from the nightlife aspect of things too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then Casa Araca is it's an Airbnb in Tulum. It sleeps 19 people. My buddy, he was actually my neighbor, Faram. He lives in Austin now. But he did another one called Casa del Rey, and like I would see like all these influencers hanging out over there. I'm like, damn, this is so fucking cool. And he's like, well, I'm gonna plan to do another one. You want to jump in with me? I'm like, yeah, sure. So it was being built all last year and just opened up Christmas Day, and it's been so busy that I haven't even had a chance to like hang out there because it's been booked.
It's been booked, yeah.
Every day pretty much from Christmas Day on. But it's very, very beautiful. I don't know if you've seen any of the photos or anything.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so if you want to stay there, let me know. I'll get you a discount.
I'd fucking love to go.
Yeah.
I was just in Mexico a little bit ago.
Yeah. What else? I got Rodeo Cold is a new venue that we're gonna be opening up. I don't know. It's looking like in the next couple of months, like maybe Labor Day. I don't know. I was talking with my buddy Ian Robert. They own Greenlight. Actually, so this is going to be their next concept, Rodeo Cold. It's going to be more like of an outside hangout bar vibe type deal, like with like bar games and stuff outside. Yeah. So that's going to be a cool different concept, kind of like a daytime bar deal. Really excited to be involved with that one.
What else does Greenlight just have Greenlight right now?
Yeah,
or do they have other.
They have Greenlight Austin and Greenlight Dallas.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
I knew they had those too. I just didn't know if they had other restaurants or venues under their portfolio.
They've been collectively. They've been doing hospitality bars and stuff for a very, very long time.
Okay.
They're very, very smart when it comes to the business and everything.
See, and I love to hear that that's kind of who you're surrounding yourself with.
100%.
Obviously, one, it's people that you've worked with prior, so you already know that you trust them. But you're in these venues, you're DJing in their venues, you know that they're successful, you know how they're running things.
Yeah.
So to kind of move that over into a business side of things and starting new ventures with them, it's like, all right, cool, you can pick their brain on this hospitality side of things.
Yep.
As far as like music and stuff like that goes, that's where they can pick your brain and just different concepts and promotion, things like that. That you guys, it sounds like you're kind of all like leaning on each other for different things.
Yeah, it's really nice to have a nice little circle of people that I can call anytime and just have a mentorship and just like, hey, I got a question, like and just being able to fully trust them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, obviously outside of the spots that you are actually investing in or some kind of like equity and like that, you're doing different events at other spots too. Like we're talking about how you were starting
Boiler Roof. Yeah. It's it's a fun concept. My boys JD and Josh Reagan out of Dallas. They do Varsity. I don't know if you know Varsity. They have a spot on Mill Avenue in Scottsdale. And then they have one in Fort Worth, and they just opened up a spot called Rodeo in Dallas.
Okay.
And Rodeo is in Deep Ellum, and they have a rooftop, and they were like, they asked me to help them out with that. So I'm doing all the programming there, and for me it was a spot where I'm able to like showcase the local talent that don't really get a say or don't get time. As much time DJing, because there's not really that many spots. So I'll put them on, and the local guys that I really like, the upcoming people, and give them a little platform to play at and whatnot. It's still brand new. I've only been able to do it for about 2 months now, but like I was telling you, it sucks that we've had some crazy weather in Dallas and it's been raining. So there's no
cover
or anything. So it's kind of just like, oh my God, it's gonna rain. Is it not gonna rain? But I'm happy that the guys over there trust me on it. It was actually funny. I did it maybe a month, and then the guys over Sudden Death and Marshmallow's team, they're like, hey Colton, we're doing a pop-up in Dallas, we want to do it somewhere, do you have a spot? And I was like, actually I got this rooftop. So I had to they're like, we need it in 48 hours, can you put it together? So made some phone calls, and I was talking with the owner. I'm like, hey guys, just hear me out, I'm gonna put marshmallow on your roof. And they're like, what? How much is that gonna cost us? I was like, this is the best part, free. They're like, no fucking way. I'm like, yeah, it's free. And he's like, wait, so what's gonna happen? I was like, he's gonna be, we're gonna put up a stage, and then we're just gonna have people in the street. It's gonna be just a guerrilla marketing type deal. We're just gonna post it, and they're just gonna pop up. And
so that's what he did in Chicago.
Exactly.
Then too.
Yeah. With the
Wiener Circle.
Yeah, Wiener Circle. So that was the same vibe.
Okay.
So it took a little bit of convincing. They're like we need permits for that. And I was like, the best part is that we're not going to do permits. We're just going to go for it. And it was the night before, I could barely sleep. I'm like, I'm either going to go to jail tomorrow, or something's going to happen, and I'm going to have to move away because I'm going to get this bar shut down.
Yeah.
But the fact that they fully trusted me on this, it created a much stronger bond with us. But yeah, it ended up working out. Man, I went there at 8 a.m. to set up, and there's already just a line. And so they were doing the bar was downstairs, and the rooftop was another one. Mm-hmm. So I had the merch booth downstairs, and I booked these crazy dubstep DJs, and that bar is mainly hip hop. They don't see dub, and so they were just people were just in there, just bodies everywhere, and just everybody's just moshing. It was very, very chaotic.
Yeah.
So chaotic. The owner's I've never seen anything like this before in my life. I fucking hate the music, but the fact that there's people on a
wall to wall in the middle of the day. Yeah.
I mean, it was, God, I can't remember what day it was. It was a Tuesday or some random shit. I can't remember, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, at 8 a.m. it started packing out. We didn't even open doors till 1. But yeah, there was thousands and thousands of people in the streets, and the owner was so scared. He was she's like, man, the police are gonna show up and we're gonna get shut down. I'm like, no, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Right before he comes, Marshmallow and Sudden Death come on. There's 8 cop cars, and I'm like, oh my God, just. So the owner went out there and talked to him hey, just give us 15 minutes. That's it. So MELLODEATH played for 15 minutes, and I had to cut the cord. But that was probably one of the most epic things that I've done on Boiler Roof. I mean, in general, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, shout out to those guys. Shout out to the whole team.
15 minutes is more than enough time for them to get their content worth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we were on so many different publications, on the news and everything, just for that. It was a lot of fun. But
That's awesome.
Yeah. So besides DJing and doing the production stuff, I am behind the scenes, and I do everything I can for the culture for Dallas. Man, that's my main thing, is do it for the culture. I just want Dallas to have a great community, because when I was young, just going to the clubs, I just loved that feeling of being belonging somewhere, because I felt like such an outcast growing up, because it would be always at boarding schools or just a new location. I didn't grow up normally. I didn't go to the same school more than once every year. So every year I'm at a new school. I am literally the kid for my first day of school, with the lunch tray, where do I sit? And that's kind of what shaped me to who I am today, being so outgoing and social and everything, just because I had to be. I had no choice when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to make friends, But yeah, I felt that belonging, sensation when I was, at my first rave, and I want to keep pushing that to as much as I can, as long as I can for the Dallas scene, because I want kids to feel belonging. That's what puts a smile on my face today, for sure.
Yeah, you're basically saying the same thing of how I grew up. I mean, I went to 3 different high schools in 4 years, and I think like 5 different schools in a 6-year span too. So I mean, literally exactly how you explained it that's the same way that I felt too, where it's like I look back on it now and I'm like, I'm thankful for it, because you're sink or swim. You're like, all right, cool. You're either going to sit here and not talk to anybody, or you're going to be outgoing and go and make friends and just make the best of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always look back on it now, and it definitely helped like who I am as a person and made me into who the person I am now, for sure.
It took a lot of self-reflecting to realize that, and like realize like that was a good thing.
Yeah.
Even though like growing up, I
hated it.
I was struggling. Yeah. I was struggling growing up, and didn't really have a great childhood. But that's I'm grateful because everything that happened growing up and every decision that was made, it made me be right here where I am today. And I would not give that up for anything in the world.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, yeah, let's talk a little bit about the production life. Obviously, outside of DJing, outside of doing stuff for these other venues, running events, things like that, you're in the studio. You're working on edits. You're working on remixes.
Yeah.
You've had a couple of them come out, being put on like your SoundCloud, that are doing pretty big numbers. With like I Like the Way You Kiss Me, obviously NLE Choppa Slug Me Out, we just talked about too, where that was pretty big on like record pools and stuff too.
Yeah.
But doing pretty big numbers on things like SoundCloud and stuff too.
Thanks,
as
man.
far as like the production side of things, I mean, how much do you enjoy creating?
Fucking hate it.
Do you?
I hate having to listen to the same song, like same sound.
As you're making it?
It's yeah.
Yeah.
But so it was actually a year ago. I saw a year ago last week, I put out the Slut Me Out remix, and it's still doing, I mean, I still get people download. I guess what it is
Damn,
like,
you put that out a year ago already?
I put that a year ago. Isn't
Holy
that wild?
shit, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, I'll see a song that I like, and I'm like, I'm just going to remix this and just see where it goes, and that was one of them that I really liked. Yeah, but I don't really like it too much. I mean, it's whatever. I stopped producing for a very long time. When I was in LA, I was doing it, and then I stopped. And then I realized, like, around last year, I'm like, I feel like I'm plateauing. I'm not getting anywhere. And so I had a couple friends who were like, why don't you get back into making music again? I'm like, okay. So, jump back in the studio and, just started cranking some stuff out. Yeah, and that's where.
What was the reason that you stopped making music?
Like
personal stuff, or was it just like
it was just
loving it?
I was just going in a different direction, in life. I had like family problems, and then I started DJing in the nightclubs, and then so that's when I started going behind the scenes. When we opened up It'll Do and started doing the Pizza's Place, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just be more behind the scenes and just DJ. And like DJing just became a hobby at that time, and like I was just DJing because I love to DJ. It's like, oh, you're gonna pay me, like whatever. Like I didn't really care how much I was getting paid. Like just put me in front of some decks on a Friday night, and I'll play, and then I started getting more serious, like right after, like 2 years ago, and then I was like, well, I want to start traveling again. So like I was like making, I was hitting up all my connections, and then I realized that like I need to put out music.
Yeah.
And then I put out music, and I was like, oh wait, now I got to make TikToks for this. So like I tried the whole. I give it to y'all, man. I shout out to my buddy Jake Short Drive, man. He can.
Jake's the homie. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he fucking can throw a track out and throw like 10 TikToks on it. Man,
it takes a lot of like discipline and a lot of the creative brain to do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, like I just can't do it because I look at like a lot of videos and stuff like that, and I just feel like so many of them, you have to put them out, but they don't necessarily like feel authentic.
Yeah.
And that's like the hardest part for me, where I'm like, I just dude, I understand like how it works right now, and it's like you got to push this stuff out, but so much of it to me, I'm just like, I can't fucking do that.
Exactly. You know, I'm in this group chat with like a bunch of the other DJs, and like we're just sitting here like talking about like man, like I can't see myself grabbing, you know, one of my samplers and just like being in the park and just like come on, this does not feel authentic at all. I just saw
like Luke Alexander put
yeah. That's we were talking about it and he started ranting about it. And he goes, dude, I have a video of me doing that. That's when he put that shit out. But yeah, you know what me and him we're talking about is like it just doesn't feel right. And then so now it's like a thing. Like we post things on like we post TikToks and stuff like where people are doing it, and like there's these two girls. I mean, I feel so bad. You know, they're trying, but like they're like DJing in a park and like nothing's plugged in. Yeah, it's like come on, girls. Like,
and it's like that's the kind of shit that goes viral, and then it's like every DJ is like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like you're making all of us look like fucking idiots.
Making us look like idiots.
But to the general public, like they don't fucking know at all.
Yeah.
And they don't care either. So that's the hard part.
Yeah, I know. You used to look at the comments. It's like, oh, you're killing it. Oh, that's awesome. Release that on Spotify.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And you're like, motherfucker, that's not how it works.
That's not how it works. Yeah. You know, but you know, it's whatever. You know, I'm not gonna try and be one of these old heads like, you know, hating on it. But, you know, it's just not for me. I can't do it. As much as I want to try, I don't know. If I have like a cool idea, I'll sit there. But man, like, there's so much technicality that like involves like to even putting it out. You know, you have to have the mic, you have to have the right camera and everything. Like, and then you have to edit it. You know, it's difficult, man.
But to what you said before, even too, where you went on a little hiatus from production, and then you kind of realized like, damn, to progress in this game, you have to.
Yeah, I got to start doing it.
Yeah.
And then also, along the same lines of like, I got to put out stuff is, I wanted to cater to bottle service industry DJs as well, you know, and playing my stuff in the bottle service life, you know, and making that nice sweet spot of what will go good in a nightclub.
Yeah.
You know, so all my music, you know, you can play in a nightclub. It'd be fun.
Yeah. See, and that's a thing where that would be like a question that I would ask is like, hey, where does your creative process go to when you're making these edits and these remixes? Like, are you making these for yourself because that's the style that you want to represent in your brand?
I'm doing for the other DJs,
exactly.
Man.
Or like the vice versa. Like, hey, I'm making this because I know it's going to work in a nightclub environment too.
That's exactly why I do it.
But yeah, I mean, that's still like, for you, if you're wanting to play festivals, like you almost have to make music that fits you and your brand, because then if you're pitching yourself out to other venues, like, hey, this is the stuff I'm going to play. This is my style.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. Carlyle, DJ Carlyle has had very many brand revamps, you know, so I found my sweet spot, and that's, you know, I want to do the bottle service clubs. I really like the nightlife, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I love it because it's a family, you know, every, like, from the porters to the cocktails to the management, like, you know, everybody's there to make money. That's the one thing. We're all trying to make money, you know, and then that's, you know, I found out that, like, I have a big role in that, of bringing in the big spenders and stuff and whatnot. And like that's one of the reasons why a lot of these bottle service clubs book me, is because I know the ins and outs of it. I know how it works. I go and I meet the big spenders. I talk to them. I hang out with them. I'll guarantee you that when you book me to DJ, I'll have tables booked. You know.
And I feel like so many venues look at DJs as more than just DJs right now.
No, yeah, they don't care.
You have to be able to do that.
They care if you sell bottles.
Yeah.
You know, which is cool. I understand. You got to get your money too, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, how about as far as like the production side of things, how has that helped when you're talking about being booked at other places? Aside from being able to bring in tables and that kind of stuff, let's say you're booking out of town gigs and you're like, hey, I also have a following from these edits, these remixes that I put out. How much does that help you when you're talking to other venues?
So that's actually what I'm starting to do right now. Is starting to cold call venues. I have somebody on my team. He's preparing everything for me, and that's something that I got to look at, because right now it's all just word of mouth and, through the grapevine connections that way of, getting played at, booked at Riot House just because I knew one of the guys there. Shout out Monk.
You're going to be at the one in Denver, right?
Yeah.
My homie from here is the GM over there right now.
Oh, what's his name?
Eric.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He used to manage the one out here. Well, now he's not even the GM. He's like the director of Riot right now.
Yeah.
But he's out in Denver too. He's good shit.
I love Riot House, man. I'm excited. I'm playing there in 2 weeks. So like stuff like that, it's just like, word of mouth. But like I'm gonna start cold calling and trying to figure it out, like how I'm gonna get into these other spots. And I had to make sure I got the music, I got the content out, and I don't know. Hopefully these places will book me. I just gotta get those credentials, and those people like saying like, yeah, he can DJ.
I feel like it's all, as long as it's well put together and like you have the statistics to back things up.
Yeah.
Whether it's the high number of followers, the content that people like to see, or they can actually see content of you filling a room and throwing a party, that kind of stuff. And then obviously the music speaks for itself when they listen. Yeah.
The sad thing is these days is like, it doesn't matter how many TikTok followers or whatever, like it does not transfer over to the music unless you see it, you can have 1 million TikTok followers and get booked for $15,000, but you don't know how to read the room.
Yeah.
Which it's okay, but like, that's, all these TikTok DJs coming up and, put out content, but they don't know how to DJ in the clubs,
Yeah. So it's like you might have 500 people coming out to see you because you're famous.
Yeah.
But then they all hate the 2 hours that you're DJing because every song that you play is fucking ass.
But it's not everybody. I got some friends that my boys Side Quests. Cal and Hootie, man, those guys, I want to talk about them.
They were just out here. They did a virgin pool party out here with Nesh. Yeah.
Those guys are able to transfer, being TikTok famous and then coming over and being able to DJ. And I mean, they're putting out the content. I mean, it's funny and it's clever, and they're killing it in the clubs. Guys like that are y'all. All you TikTok DJs, y'all got to look at, learn from them. Follow what they're doing because, they make a club jump for sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got into a little bit about you touring and booking yourself out, playing a Riot House in these next couple of weeks here.
Yeah.
Where else are you all actually playing? Like, what residencies do you have right now? What are the main spots that people can go and find you? The
main spot, I mean, obviously in Dallas, Greenlight is my home base. I love that room. I helped open that place up. I was one of the first DJs. They actually Cole out here. He was running the place when it first opened. He was like, Colton, like you DJ. We based up our the way we book DJs around you because of the way you play. And that was such a great compliment to hear. I love playing Greenlight. And then I started getting booked up in Austin at Mayfair, play out there. I got Barstool now. Riot House, Denver. That's basically, that's what I have going for me so far. Those are the venues that take care of me, and then I love being out there. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to branch out, man, as much as I can. Like 2024 is me trying to go open up new markets. Yeah, for sure.
That's 4 cities already: Dallas, Austin, Nashville, Denver. That's 4 pretty big cities that are awesome to play at. As far as like you going to play sets at these places that are residencies, how do you go about keeping your sets fresh where you're not going to be playing the same thing every single time, where the bartenders, the managers, all that kind of stuff are just like, oh, he plays the same set every single time?
See, that's one of my biggest fears is like, oh yeah, he just plays it. Because I hear that from people all the time. Like, oh yeah, that DJ plays the same thing. I literally can point out like the next song. I'll tell you what, I walk up in that DJ booth and I have no idea what I'm about to play until I start playing it. It's all freestyling, and that's what keeps it fresh, to be honest with you. That's why I love playing ball service clubs, because I can, I'll be playing some house music and I'll switch it up to some rap immediately, and going back and forth. I love just flowing, through everything.
Yeah, that's how I am too, where I I feel like I try and prep stuff, and then as soon as I start, I'm like, well, fuck it, not going off of that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put, like at least for this Nashville, like I had like, all right, let me do some EDM stuff, and I had it, in my arsenal, but like when I'm gonna play it, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Until I start playing.
And even still, like how much of the shit that you had prepped did you actually end up playing?
25%.
Yeah. See?
I think I made like 10, 15 different edits and little mashups and everything. I played 25% of it.
Because I feel like the same way where it's like once I get in the moment, I'm looking around, I'm like, all right, cool. I got this pocket of this bachelorette party over here, and then this pocket of these people that are athletes over here spending money. It's like I see them vibe to this song, I see them vibe to this song, and then I'm like, a song pops in my head where I'm like, oh shit, like that's the one that they're gonna love.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how the set just ends up tumbling through.
Yeah.
Where it just
I love the bachelorette parties.
Yeah.
The bachelorette parties are so fun, but they're also the worst because they request the music. Man. Yeah. Which I don't mind. I don't mind requests.
If you do it in the right way.
If you do it in the right way.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, you got to pay me $100. Unless you're a cute girl. I mean, not even that. Pay me $100. I'll do your song requests.
Yeah. That'll always work. Money talks for sure.
Money does talk.
Yeah.
But then, if I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to play it anyway. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah. Is there right now an artist or like a producer that you get inspiration from or that you kind of like look up to?
I mean, let's start with the big one, James Hype. I mean, the technicality skills on the decks is just unmatched. I mean, him, Godfather, A-Track, and Craze. That's who I was looking up to. Like first when I was first DJing, and then James Hype's out here doing like unheard of shit, and he's the one. He's really prepping and practicing. Those like doing that stuff live. Like that is so great. Like one slip up and you'll that's it.
You're train wrecking.
Yeah, you train wreck. Yeah. He has like no margin for error.
But he's adamant about like playing live too.
I know. I saw that video.
It makes me such a bigger fan of him too.
Yeah. That's who I definitely look at. I love to watch his stuff and be like, okay, that's a cool way to use the decks.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't think about using that. That FX. In that way. Let's see who else. Some of these other guys that I definitely look up to is Rick Wonder, Cases. Their edits and everything that they put out is like, damn, like it's like fucking nonstop, just throwing stuff out there. I play a lot of their stuff. I really look up to them.
Cases is a super good homie of mine. Rick, I've never met when he was out here.
Yeah, I
was out in Mexico. Just fucking sucked because I am a huge fan of his too and the music that he's been putting out. But yeah, I mean, he'll be back here at Barstool too, because he's one of those dudes where I'm like, yo, bring his ass out here. They finally got him out here and he crushed it. Cool. But yeah, I mean, seeing him do like breakdowns of his stuff too, and how he's making these edits and remixes and putting stuff together, he's killing it, bro. It's awesome to see him just crush it right now. So
it's just wild. Like a song will come out. A song will be released, and then it's like the next day, it's like Rick Wonder.
Yeah, he's already got shit working on for it. Yeah, it's wild. Like, and that's what we were kind of talking about at lunch too, where it's like so much of this stuff with the SEM separation processes, that like programs that you can find. Yeah, you can get to it pretty quick. Where it's like you can throw these new songs, you can get the acapella, you can get the instrumental, you can start kind of building an edit and remix right away. Mm-hmm. And they fucking get to it quick, man. It's crazy. So. For you, do you have top 3 songs right now that you're playing like out in the club?
Oh, that I'm playing?
Or that you're listening to? I mean, what are you listening to?
I went to a Kid Rock concert a couple weeks ago. Man, I'm playing like
in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a Kid Rock's PBR bull riding competition.
Okay. Damn, I didn't even know he did that.
Yeah, it was like a first. And he went out and started I grew up listening to this dude.
Ball with the Ball.
Exactly. So that is like on my Spotify list. That Cowboy, and like I'll play it in the club. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I started playing Cowboy in the club at in Dallas, and people ate it up. I was like, wow, like I was only playing it because I want to listen to it. They loved it. What else am I listening to?
Cowboy is crazy because that first part of the song is so like
iconic,
notable. Yeah. where it's like as soon as you hear that beat, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Not really much new shit. I mean, like, yeah, I was like interested in the whole Kendrick Drake beef. Like, the only reason I cared about it is because, oh yeah, cool, we got new music finally. You know, it's like I feel like this last like 2 years it's just been so stagnant. It's like,
especially in the hip hop realm,
and
for
especially
sure.
in hip, like,
Yeah.
I love Drake so much. I am I am a top 1% listener every year on Spotify. But it's like, come on, man. I can't be playing all Drake everything in my music, man. Like we gotta play some other stuff, but like these rappers just stop, you know, they don't play club stuff anymore. You know, like it's not stuff that you dance to in the clubs. You know,
It's so down tempo.
It's slowed, yeah.
Yeah.
It's slowed down. I mean, up here on Rap, I used to be on Rap Caviar all the time, like, you know, looking through new music, but like, I mean, looking at it right now, it's like, we can go band for band. I mean, I love that song.
It's
Like,
probably Sexy Red, Kendrick,
Sexy,
Drake.
yeah, you know. And I fuck with Sexy, but you know, I'll play Ski, and it's like everybody loves it, and then once it gets in that first verse, the crowd just dies out. Nobody cares anymore, you know. But you know, it's, I don't know. I feel like the last, you know, remember like, you know, years ago, like you have that one hip hop song that you had to wait to play at the end of the night. That was it. And I haven't had that, I feel like, in a while. I feel like the last one was Uzi's Just Wanna Rock.
Wanna Rock,
Yeah, like that was the one that I had to like wait to play.
Yeah.
But now it's just whatever. Like, oh, push-ups, okay, I'll play Drake push-ups whenever. You
See,
know?
like I haven't even really been playing that much like in a club setting.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, people don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not like us, people want to hear.
Yeah,
but then
it just gets so like, okay, I can't play it out.
Yeah.
You know?
I
It
think
ain't
like
no dreams and
lyrically, too.
nightmares.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
they ain't singing every word to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel the same way too, where it's like it's hard to find ways to like stay in that pocket of new music, where the older music just hits harder right now.
It does, you know. I mean, all you DJs, like y'all know.
Yeah.
The old stuff is coming back. Like, and it's so crazy. I'll see these like 19, 20-year-olds just bopping out to something. I'm like, how do you know this song?
Yeah.
You know? It's which I mean, I love it. Like, I love playing, you know, it became really fun to like go back in my crates from, you know, 2012 and be like, oh, what, like I haven't heard this song in a long time. And that was actually one of my remixes was Kevin Rudolph's.
Okay. Let It Rock.
Yeah, Let It Rock.
Yeah.
You know, I had a girl request it, and I was like, damn, I love that song. I played it, and it fucking hit, and nobody else was playing this song, and everybody remembered it, like everybody was singing it and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna make a remix to this, and so I did it, and then I sent it out to Kevin, and you know, I mean, Kevin just, you know, he hasn't made anything in a while and whatnot, but he responded back to me. He goes, yeah, I'll take a listen. And then he goes, yeah, that's cool. And then I re-released it. And then like maybe like a month later, Kevin comes back and goes, I'm getting tagged in your song. He goes, this is awesome. I feel like, he's like, you just lit a fire under my ass to like start doing stuff again.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's do something. Like, let's go. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let's do an official remix, because I didn't put Lil Wayne on it just for that reason, you know. And I was like, how can we like talk to the record label and see if we can do an official remix so I can put it on Spotify and everything. So we did, and I mean that song was like, you know, it was going. There was a lot of plays, you know, a lot of DJs were playing it out, and so he reached out, and it was around the same time that Taylor started doing her like her remakes, her re-releases. So he's like, this. You know, Kevin called me up and he was like, I got an idea. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do a re-release since the record label doesn't want to put it out. And I'll just put it out. I'll re-record it. So I got Kevin in the studio. He re-recorded all the vocals over it. And I mean, it sounded great. It was perfect. And then so we started pitching it. And then some shit fucking happened and somebody else took it. Somebody else, they went with somebody else's remix.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about him, but you know, I'm a little salty about it because I looked back on my like who downloaded my music, And that artist was one of the guys that downloaded that song, and he made the remix because of my remix.
So it's literally like he's taking your idea,
Took my idea and made it better, which I can't knock him for that.
Yeah.
And so the record label that was gonna put it out, we're gonna go with this dude's remix instead. I mean, that was just And then that remix went on to be nominated in some awards, and then Benny Benassi I think took it, and then Benny Benassi released it. I'm like, damn, that could have been me, man.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy how much behind the scenes goes into
it. Yeah, there was a lot of politics into it.
Yeah. And that's why when I see people like, oh, put this out on Spotify, I'm like, that's not how it fucking works.
Man.
These have to get approved by the artists, approved by the labels, all these people that own the mastering and everything. You can't just put a remix out on Spotify like that. But yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. So
yeah, so I was really salty on that one.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
But yeah, it's whatever. I mean, I don't blame Kevin for doing that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, at this stage in your career right now, I mean, obviously, you talked about loving to play those open format club style sets. Do you still have a big interest in playing an artist set and being able to play those festivals, or have you just found so much joy in playing these club style sets that it's kind of on the back burner right now?
So the Carlyle name is I'm just keeping it as open format because I don't want to try and rebrand it into other stuff. I think that's Carlyle is perfect for open format, but I have an alias. It's called Joy Boy, and it's hard techno, 135, underground warehouse stuff that I'll play.
Have you done anything under it yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I haven't even seen this.
Yeah, I haven't released any music yet.
Yeah.
But I'll play I'll hit up some of these after hours clubs. I got booked in LA for a Lick and Dip event, and I mean it was on a Wednesday night. And I'm not thinking anything. And then one of my friends, she was the one that brought me out. She's like, Colton, it's going to be crazy. I'm like, what do you mean? It's a Wednesday night.
It's a Wednesday, yeah.
2 days before Christmas. And she was like, there's 3,000 kids there right now. I said, no fucking way. I go in there, and it's 4 a.m, and everybody's just going wild. It's those underground events in LA is, unmatched. If you haven't been out there, go check that shit out. So I played under my alias and just killed it. I love playing the hard techno stuff.
Yeah.
But it doesn't transfer over to bottle service,
It's a little hard to have that stuff go off in a bottle service club. Yeah, that's for sure.
Exactly. I'll get away with a couple, 1 or 2, but you definitely have lyrics over it. But I mean, I love playing the hard techno too.
That's awesome.
Raw techno, yeah.
Yeah. See, and that's just another part of being versatile as a DJ. That's gonna open up more for you too. So
yeah, I mean, whatever genre, I'll play it.
One question that I have for you, this is gonna be one that probably every DJ has thought of before. Someone's talking to you in the booth, whether it's a manager or a friend of yours, you lose focus for a little bit, having a conversation, song's about to run out. What's your go-to track that is going to work when you need something quick? Oh my God.
Okay. I'm on sticks too. I'm not on, I'm not on a laptop, so I'm just scrolling. That's the big thing too,
The 3000s are nice because you can just.
I know, I can. But that's one thing that I am actually very good at is talking to somebody and then DJing and turning around saying, dabbing somebody up, bringing somebody in the booth, doing the whole CO2 and everything and still DJing. My go-to is, let's see. I got a couple of them. First one is Don't Like, Chief Keef, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't Like.
Chicago slapper. We love it.
Reverb, and then it goes right into it. And then I have an edit that I made, the Rocky theme song.
Okay.
It's funny because I made it because me and my boy Zillamatic, we were having a DJ face-off, and so I named the track "Fuck You, Zillamatic." So it's stayed in my arsenal, and it will go into the Rocky theme song, and then it'll go into Fat Joe, Lean Back remix, and it just hits every time. And I don't know. Another few ones is Young, Wild, and Free. I have an edit of that I keep in my arsenal. But yeah, those three are definitely like my go-to that I do.
I'm gonna have to listen to this Rocky one because that sounds like it would be.
Oh yeah, it goes
great.
off, man. Yeah,
because I feel like that's again such like an iconic fucking intro where it's like dun, 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 dun. You hear that shit and you're instantly like, oh, you see motherfuckers in the bar shadow boxing, going crazy.
And then at the like right at the drop, it's like Lil Jon's like, stop! It's the motherfucking remix.
Yeah.
You know,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that would definitely work for sure.
I'll send it to you.
Last thing I like to do here on the show is just have you put someone on a platform. So just someone that you want the listeners, the viewers to know a little bit more about, get a little shine on, put a spotlight on them. It can be another DJ, a producer, a venue that you like, an event, whatever you want to do, just someone or something that you want to put them on a platform.
Man, put them on the platform. Luke Alexander, he's doing something really cool. The day party is up in New York.
Azure?
Yeah, the Azure. Yeah. Shout out to him, man. Hopefully I can get over there. We're trying to work something out where I can go play over there. I mean, it's so beautiful over there. Just like the backdrop and everything. He's doing something really good over there, man. Y'all should definitely go check out Luke Alexander.
Yes. Yeah, if you guys have not looked up Azure Day Party, definitely go on his page. It's on there. Azure has it on their own Instagram too. But yeah, I mean, Luke's been killing it, and all the content that I see from there, I mean, you just have the backdrop of the city in the background. It's fucking insane.
I know,
and then just banging out house music.
Definitely want to play there.
Yeah. I want to go out there. Cases is out there in August, and it's like right when I get done with my summer semester. So I have like a month off to do no classes and anything, where all I have to do is focus on DJing.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, that's when I'm going to go out there, is go out there when Cases is there with Luke. Kind of just be able to see.
I'll come out there too.
Yeah. It'd be a good time.
I'll hang out with y'all.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, thank you again, man, for taking the time to come over here, sit down, talk on the pod. And
bro, I'm happy to be here, man. I was like so excited when you hit me up.
Yeah.
Like, I love doing podcasts. I just love talking about the industry and just, my thoughts on it. And, I just, if you're saying a lot of your listeners are in the industry, DJs and everything, like, I love, talking and, helping anybody I can out when it comes to that.
Yeah, that's definitely the main demographic. It's obviously geared a lot toward DJs, producers, and just people in the music industry and nightlife industry. So it's good to hear stories because, I mean, we're 40-some episodes in, and everybody's story is different.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a different path that they've taken and a different goals that they're going to set for the future of where they want to go within this industry too. So it's cool to hear everyone's different point of views and just get conversations going. So I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk and get your message out to the listeners and viewers, man. Yeah.
If any listeners out there, y'all, if y'all have any questions or anything, hit me up, man. Just send me a DM. I'll definitely reply. And anything you have, if you have any questions or anything, man, I can help you out with whatever you're struggling with.
Awesome. We'd love to hear it. Yeah. I'll put all Carlyle stuff in the description here. So if you're watching on YouTube, follow him on Instagram, hit him up, go check out his SoundCloud. He puts a lot of his edits out there. Listen to Apple Podcast or Spotify, same thing. Everything will all be in the description there. Follow myself, DJ Dex MKE. The show's at the Platform Mix. New episodes come out every Wednesday. Mixes come out every Monday. So if you need new mixes for the gym, for driving in the car, any kind of stuff like that, hour-long mixes like those come out every Monday. So until next time, man, thank you so much for stopping by and joining the show.
Thank you so much for having me, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Check. Mic check. 1, 2. Yo, is this thing on or what?